Good day, everyone. My name is Christopher Kalawale. Welcome back to my channel, and it's been a very long time. So today we're going to do the areas of shapes game, but this time I've remixed it with some new things that we're going to do. So in this video, we're going to explain the areas of shapes, but this time I will be teaching you, be doing the math, and we'll both do the math together. Let's go. Here with us today is the code. So print welcome to areas of shapes. Wait, that's not right. Let's put it in a way that makes sense. There we go. Then, there's a concept called object-oriented programming. This concept involves classes, polymorphism, dunder methods, and so forth. And this is used in programming mostly, used in configuring our data. And OOP is a specific term. I'll explain that in a moment. And yes, as I was saying, so object-oriented programming is a kind of program that involves data in the form of fields and also code in the form of procedures, which is why it's also called procedural programming. So here with me today is class circle pi equals to 3.14, def init self and radius. So self.radius equals to radius and self.area equals to pi times radius, which is what we know as pi r squared. So return self.area, pi equals to 3.14, radius equals to float, input, enter a radius, area equals to pi times radius. The area of the radius of your circle is area to two significant figures. Watch out for this one. This one is in most code. You might want to see that. It's to two significant figures because some answers are so in decimals that you might never find out the true answer. So the same thing goes for the cylinder, except it's a whole lot complex than you think. Self.pi times radius, that's pi r squared plus pi r squared h. Or you can simply factorize it by saying pi r squared 1 plus h. You can simply put it like that. So the area of the radius and height of the cylinder is that. So square is a whole lot easier. We're going into the basic shapes where it's a whole lot easier. Then area equals to L squared, then return self to area, then length equals to integer input, enter the length, then area length times length. The area of the length of your square is two significant figures. Class rectangle. Self.width equals to width, self.length equals to length. So width times length is simply that. Then the next one. Before I go into the next one, let me just put this. Everybody knows these. Triangle is also known as half base times height. Or you might simply call it base times height over 2, which is still the same thing. Or you can just simply do 0.5 to base times height, like I did over here. So the parallelogram is base times height. So the parallelogram is 2 times the triangle, because base times height is simply that. If you multiply it, it's simple. So before I move forward, let me just do the following. And note, integer and float. You might see these in a lot of programming languages, like JavaScript, C++, and so forth. Int is also known as integer, which is a regular number. Meanwhile, float is a decimal. So trapezium over here is a, b, and height. So this is half a plus b times height. Or you can just simply say a plus b over 2 times height to make it simpler for you. And this was simply a code I did all by myself. That's why I'm explaining it like that. So 3.14 float inputs enter radius is just simply that. If you want to have a copy of the code, you can't have it directly, but you can do that through watching this video with careful consideration. If you have been typing it, great, good for you, because I'm about to close it because we're doing our quiz immediately. So without further ado, let's get into it. There are 10 questions. You'll only have 15 seconds per question, per each question. So you can't exit from the quiz while you're playing. You'll get points on the basis of your correct answers. Anyone can get free points from these. So let's begin. Obvious question. Next one. Not to cheat, but to learn from it. And if you see similar questions like this, you can use that as an advantage. Now we're going to test the code in a moment. Sounds like I have an idea, guys. So I'm going to share it after this video, after this quiz, rather. After this video quiz. There we go. OOP. We didn't learn that much advanced programming because we're still under the basics. Then the slow ones, that does not exist. But I did mention a thing or two about magic dunder and polymorphism. But that's just its general name. You can count them. The answer is simply 7. Next. A question about the parallelogram and triangle will appear in the next question, I predict. Base times height. Next question. That prediction actually worked. It only consists only one. The triangle consists only one triangle, which is itself. But if you're looking for a parallelogram, it consists of 2. So next question. I did say something about that. I'm not going to tell you the answer. We're just going to move on like that. Next. So the float, an integer, I've mentioned it in the video. You can see it in a lot of programming languages like Python, C++, Java, Ruby, Go, etc. Even PHP. So input is simply giving the user input. It's an obvious question. That's why I wanted you to answer it. Next one. Simply explained in the video. What could it be? There we go. That should be the answer. After that, I'm going to share the idea. Yes, my motivational quote for the day is that whenever you learn something, you should always try and revisit, because you might never know. You might never know when it will come again. Because, like tests now, that's why there are always tests, to test you and assess your knowledge, to see what you know, to see what you've got. That's why there are tests, so you can remember everything. Some are for remembrance, and some are technically for what you know. So that's why you have to keep revisiting those topics. Whenever you're taught something, you have to revisit and relearn what you've learned, and apply that skills and build it up to the next level. That's my advice for the day. And the idea is, after my motivational quote for the day, we'll run our program just like that. That's the new tactic now, guys. So we're gonna run our program and see how it will work in a moment. Now, let's run the code. And if you're working on PyCharm, just take a long look at that. You have close, close all, copy path, split vertically, split horizontally, pin tab. You can actually pin a tab if you want to, then configure edit tabs, then reopen the closed one. You can add to your favorites, add all to favorites. You can even rename the file here. You can actually create the raw Python. And there's debug, consistency diagram. One day we'll try all these controls. I won't show you how to do these using PyCharm, one of these videos, because this is all ideas. This is all bringing up ideas. So we're going to run the program without a further ado. So enter a radius. If I were you, I'll just pick a multiple of 7. If I were you, I'll just pick a multiple of 7. So mine will be 63. What happened there? Okay, let's retry that again, folks. Sorry about the last one. Anyways, let's leave it like that since it wants to be there. Then the height, I'll pick 5. This gives us our area, simply. Now the simple shapes. So that's 144, easy. Next, for my length I'll pick, easy. And for my width I'll pick 9. So the answer to this one is actually 12,474. But I will accept it this way. If I were you, I would just accept it that way. But the answer is 12,474. So the base is 12, and the height is 8. Same thing for the full triangle, which is the parallelogram. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that'll be the answer to that question we struggled with earlier. There we go. That should be our answer. And it's true. The answer is this. And hopefully, this should be our program run. Now that we've run our program, we can call that a day, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye!